Good evening. We're now going into our new topic, lens maker's formula, for which you need to have a good knowledge of the previous session. That is, where we discussed a ray of light passing from rarer to denser medium, refraction occurring at convex surface, and also the for which we got the formula as rarer to denser medium. We at convex surface we had the formula n2 minus n1 by r equal to n2 by v minus n1 by u. And the next derivation we had denser to rarer. Denser to rarer. Again refraction occurring at convex we did, where we had the formula as n1 minus n2 by r equal to n1 by v minus n2 by u. So this knowledge you need to have. So if you have not watched that video, please go back to that video. Here n2 is we have taken as the refractive index of the denser medium, n1 the refractive index of the rarer medium, v is the image distance, u is the object distance, and r is the radius of curvature. So if you have not watched that video, please go back to that video because we need these formulas for lens maker's formula. Now what I've drawn here is a lens. As you know, a lens has two spherical surfaces. So the first spherical surface we know is ABC here, and the second spherical surface is ABC. Here we have air, so I've taken that rarer medium, refractive index as N1. Inside the glass lens we have a denser medium, so I took that as N2. And again the ray of light is going back into air, rarer medium, so refractive index is N1. The object is kept on the left side. So if you now cut it into two parts, that is, I'm going to take this refraction occurring at the first surface. The first surface is ABC. So you will see this is the rarer side, right? So when you look from the rarer end, this surface is actually a convex surface because it's bulging out, and the ray of light is passing from rarer to denser medium, which is our first case here. So I'm going to split the lens into two. So we'll have a surface here where this is A, this is B here, and we have C here. Okay. And because our lens is like this, the spheric sphere is in this manner, we have the center of curvature here, and the line that I draw from the center of curvature you know is the normal. The object is on the left side here in the rarer side, N1. Inside the lens we have this as N2. So I've only taken this first part of the lens. So we have a ray of light passing from the object. This is the incident ray, so this is the angle of incidence. This ray would have continued like this, but because it is passing from rarer to denser, it will bend towards the normal. So it will bend towards the normal, giving you a first image which I'm going to call as I1 in my case. Okay, so this is a denser, the glass lens. This is a rarer. So this is our first derivation which we did in the previous session. So my equation for this will be this one. So for this, for surface ABC, we have ray of light passing from rarer to denser, refraction occurring at convex, because I told you when you look from the rarer side, it's bulging out, so it is convex surface. So we're going to take this formula. So that will be N2 minus N1 by R equal to N2 by V minus N1 by U. We need to make a few changes in this formula. Because our lens has two surfaces, they may have different radius of curvature, meaning this side may have a radius of curvature R1 and this side may have a radius of curvature R2. They can be different. Equiconvex means they will have the same radius of curvature. So I'm going to take this radius of curvature, the first side, this I'm going to take as R1. I've taken this image, first image formed as I1. So this I'm going to call as V1 and this I'm going to call as U. Okay. So in this equation, this has to become R1 for the surface and this V has to become V1 because I've named it as V1. And then the equation, rest of it is right. So this is my first equation. Now I'm going to consider the refraction occurring at the second surface. So if I'm going to draw the second surface, it's going to look like this. We have a second surface here, which is, let me draw it slightly to the left. This is our second surface. Because it's curving like this, our center of curvature will be on this side. This will be the normal. Okay. And here we have N2 because inside the lens we have N2 and outside it's N1. So here it is the denser medium and here we have N1 which is the rarer medium. Okay. Now for this diagram, please note what is happening here is your ray is entering from here and then going into the next medium, right? So this ray is passing from, so we see this is a ray that I am drawing, that is it's coming from the lens. This is our lens side, okay? So this ray that has entered here, from here, this ray is the one that I am showing you. So that is here. It has to now go into the rarer medium, right? So when this ray passes, so this ray, that's the incident ray, if this side were not there, meaning if this was not there, then this ray would have gone on to fall at I1. So I am extending it there to show you that this would have been I1, right? So if this end was not there, this side or this curved side spherical surface was not there, then this would have completely gone and formed it at I1. But we have now put another surface here. That is what I have shown here. So this ray has now cannot go on to form the final image at I1 because you are allowing it to enter from denser to rarer medium. It has to bend away from the normal. So what this will do is, instead of going and forming the image at I1, it will bend away from the normal. Your normal is here. It will bend away from the normal and it is going to get your final image at I. So here what we have drawn is that final image I. We haven't drawn this. This would have actually gone on to go on like this. We have not drawn that here. This is I1. But because of this ray of light undergoing one more bending, this was supposed to go like this, okay? But because this ray of light is undergoing one more bending, it is coming and forming at I. So now for this surface, you should remember that this V1 will be the object distance. Why? Because which is the incident ray for this one? This is the incident ray, right? So this incident ray, if extended, we know is here. So that is why this becomes the object distance and this V will be the final image distance. So this is to be noted. This such an object which, see, suppose you have a, let's say a real object here and I have a mirror here. If I keep one more mirror here, I'll still be able to see the image of the pen. But for this mirror, this is the real object. It has formed an image on that mirror. That image becomes an object for this mirror, right? So such an object is what you call as a virtual object. That means an image is already formed. That image becomes an object for another mirror. Then that is called as a virtual object. In our case here, had this side been not there, we would have got an image here. So this happens to be the incident ray, which we extend to be here. So this is going to be the virtual object for the second surface, forming the final image at I. So please note, this will be the this will be the object for second surface. Object for ADC, and this will be the image for ADC, this side. Okay. So this is our A, B and C. Fine. Now I'm going to write the equation. Because it's passing from denser to rarer, and when you look from the rarer side, it is bulging out. So this is a convex surface. So ray of light passing from denser to rarer, it is the refraction occurring at convex surface. So we may write that equation as, for surface ADC, on this one, ADC, it is N1 minus N2 by R equal to N1 by V minus N2 by U. Okay. Let me just rub off this for you. Okay, so here we have, this is the equation. Again, here we need to make some changes. I told you, your second surface may have a different radius of curvature, right? So I will put this as R2. Now I told you that this V will remain as V, but this U is the object distance. And for the second surface, we have this as the object, right? So we need to take this is the object distance, that is the V1. So here we have this as V, but this will be V1. So instead of U, I'm going to write it as V1, which is my equation 2. Now I'm going to add first equation plus the second equation. Here we have N2 minus N1 by R, but here we have the opposite, N1 minus N2 by R2. So I'm going to take N2 minus N1 outside. Here I'll have 1 by R1. Here because it's inverse, opposite, so we'll have minus 1 by R2. And when I add this N2 by V1 and minus N2 by V1 will get cancelled. And we will have this equal to N1 by V minus N1 by U from here. Okay. Now if your object, so here you see V and U. Now let's imagine if your so what is 1 by V minus 1 by U? We know is equal to 1 by F, right? How can we take that? If your object is at infinity, your V will be at the focus. So this is going to be equal to N2 minus N1 by into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 equal to, I'm going to take N1 common outside, so that 1 by V I may write as 1 by F minus 1 by infinity. 1 by infinity you know is 0. So here we have taken the case where you've kept your object at infinity, the image has to be formed at the focus. So we may rewrite this as, going back to the top, this is going to be N2 minus N1 by, I'm going to bring N1 to the left hand side, so this is N1 is equal to, so I brought this here, so this will simply be 1 by F because 1 by infinity is 0. So I'm going to take this as equation 2. 1 and 2 is over, so this I'll take as equation 3 and this I'm going to take as equation 4. And N2 by N1 you know is N21. Sorry, made a mistake. Here this is N2 minus N1 by, I'm bringing this here to be N1 bracket 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 equal to, here I brought this N1 to the left here. So this is on the right side, I only have 1 by F where 1 by infinity is 0. Okay. So this I call as my equation 4. And then what is N2 by N1? We know that is N21 minus N1 by N1 is 1 bracket 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 is equal to 1 by F, which is what we have as the lens maker's formula. Lens maker's formula. Where you can decide upon the focal length of your lens by choosing the right refractive index of the material that you're going to use and the radii of curvature of the two spherical surfaces. By deciding on this R1 and R2 and N21, 1 by F is the power of the lens. You can make your lens of the desired power. Okay. Now if you compare this equation 3, I'm sorry I rubbed it off. Equation 3 that we had was N2 minus N1 by N1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 is equal to N1 into, I haven't taken this here, N1 bracket 1 by V minus 1 by U. This was your equation 3. Now if you compare this equation 3 with equation 4, You will see on the left hand side we have n2 minus n1 by n1. I can bring this here by n1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2 is 1 by f, which is 1 by v minus 1 by u. So from equation 3 and 4 you can get your thin length formula, where 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So from the same derivation we arrive at two formulas. One, the Lenzmaker's formula, n21 minus 1 equal to 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2 equal to 1 by f, and also the thin length formula. This is the thin length formula which I know you have learned in the 10th standard. Thin length formula, 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. Remember, v is the image distance, u is the object distance, f is the focal length. Here we have r1 and r2, the radii of curvature. First surface, radius of curvature is r1. Second surface, radius of curvature is r2. n21 is the refractive index of the n2 we took as a denser medium, and n1 we took as a rarer medium. So that is Lenzmaker's formula. Thank you and good night.